Welcome back to our channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. Thank you for sharing my videos. I really do appreciate. On this channel, I create content on UK immigration updates, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK, and I've got a fantastic news to share with you today. That's why I've got the young man you're seeing in this video, and he's going to introduce himself to you. So, hi, FA. Please, can you introduce yourself to my audience?
All right, thank you very much. And I must say, like, I'm a very big subscriber of your YouTube channel, and you majority of the information I know about the UK is from your channel. So that's to all your subscribers. All right, a little bit about myself. My name is Ifemena April. I'm the co-founder of Amdari and also the co-founder of Analytics. So with Amdari, now let's start my personal experience here. So. I'm a data professional, and I've been doing that for a decade plus. And
wow,
I started my career as a management consultant, and I obviously as a consultant living in Lagos, Nigeria, I wanted to do more in terms of the career path I wanted to go into. So tech was the major thing at the time, and that was a buzzword everybody was talking about. And eventually, I was able to get into the tech space. But this conversation is likely going to be long, but it took me about 2 years to get my first job. Working in the tech space, 2 years of learning. I'm telling you, different learning materials, different. I went on Udemy, I went on Kaggle, I went on different sites to go learn and all that. And eventually I was gathering certificate, thinking certificate was going to help me get a job. Long story short, I couldn't get a job in like 2 years. I relocated to Ireland. Then I got my first job working as a business intelligence developer. I'll probably shed more light to this as we go on, but long story short, my experience has spanned different aspects within the data ecosystem and business and the business aspect. So I've worked in the capacity of a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, business systems analyst. I've worked across different organizations in the UK, Ireland, Canada, US. I've worked for businesses, and that's what I still do today. So today now, I do more of contracting. So I work with businesses in the UK, US, and what I do is just implement data analytics solutions for these organizations. On the side of Amdari, we help people. I'll probably shed more light to this, but on a personal note, this is Ifemena, and that's honestly, I'm just
really nice to hear this. And the problem we've got in UK is that a lot of people are struggling to get into tech, especially when it comes to women. They just think it's a guy's thing. And I'm so happy that I'm seeing a lot of women getting into tech right now. And one of the things you said is about struggling for 2 years. 2 years is a lot. Looking at it now, I would say you wasted a whole 2 years.
Yes, I did. I won't lie to you. I say this every time I have a session. I waited 2 years. If I knew exactly what I knew today, I probably would have gotten a job faster. And I'll probably share some testimonials as we go on people that have spent lesser time in getting a job within the tech space and the secret juice or the secret sauce that they need to have in order for them to get started.
Wow, guys, please like and share this video with your friends and loved ones, because Ife has got a lot to share in today's video. Like you can hear him clearly say that he spent 2 years. And for me today, looking at what the tech industry is now, you can see that 2 years he spent searching for a job was just a waste of time. So he's got something from his own experience that is going to enable you get a job with visa sponsorship in the UK. Fast, easy, quick, smooth. So before we dive right into the main details today, Ife, please can you tell me a little bit about your company vision?
Okay, all right. With Amdari, the vision is very simple, clear, and concise. It is people who need experience. Okay, where do they go to get this experience? Where do people go? It's very difficult for you to answer that question because there is no place. And now that place now is Amdari. So looking at my experience, and this Amdari is born out of the frustration I faced when I was looking at getting a job within the tech space. So if you're looking at getting a job in the tech space, you need experience. Okay, you're coming from a customer service experience. You've been in customer service, you've been working in the bank, you've been working as a teller, you've been doing whatever job you've been doing in the past, you've been running a business. But now you're in the UK, you want to get a job in the UK, you want to get a job as a business analyst, a data engineer, whatever the case may be. Majority of these jobs need you to have experience in this job. Now the posing question is, where did you get this experience? This UK experience everybody's talking about, where did you get it? Amdari is the place where you get it. So the vision here is to help people looking at transitioning to the tech space guarantee work experience that they can use in getting a job. Straight to the point.
Thank you very much, Ife, for that. One of the challenges we face is when you go for an interview and you don't have a UK experience, you get told off.
Yeah.
Indirectly, I'll tell you, I interviewed from organization and we laughed till the end of the interview, but we know that you haven't got the experience for the job. And if someone who has got experience in the UK presents their CV, we will rather go for that CV instead of
100.
someone who doesn't have an experience and has got loads of certificates. So with what you guys are doing, I know that my audience is definitely going to benefit from this. So what problem is Amdari solving, and how does it stand out from competitors in the industry?
Very simple. Also, like I said, we have a lot of learning resources out there. If you're looking to learn cybersecurity, SOC analyst, GRC, I can tell you 1,001 places you can go learn. All this concept,
Yeah.
the theoretical work, and all that. Now, the key question is that learning resources is this substantial enough for you to get a job?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like you mentioned something very, very germane, just what you were talking about, the interviews that you conduct. I do a lot
Yeah.
of interviews also for
Yeah.
the businesses I work with. And you see that certifications are almost dead. Okay, almost dead. So if you have this mindset that most beginners that are looking at transitioning into the tech space have the mindset that I need this certification to sort of validate the things that I know. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're going into data analytics, data science, or cybersecurity. You see a lot of people looking for certificates. Now, these certificates are not is not substantial enough for you to get a job, and that's the
Yeah.
problem that we are facing. Especially Africans that have relocated to to the UK, to Ireland, to anywhere in Europe, Canada. That's what most people will focus on. How can I get more
Yeah.
certificates? How can I get more degrees and all that? But this theoretical knowledge is not what you need in order for you to get a job. What you actually need is hands-on project experience. So you see a lot of people reaching out to myself. If I open my LinkedIn and you see a lot of people, how can I work with you for free? How can I do this for free? People need this experience in order for them. They
Yeah.
know that they need this experience to get a job, but they lack the place where they can get this experience. So
Experience. Yeah.
Amdari is that platform that guarantees actual work experience. So you get, there are quite a number of perks that you get going through Amdari that will guarantee that work experience that you need in order for you to get a job. Okay, so
Wow.
no other platform, honestly speaking, other people can try to say that, oh, you get work experience, but this is you working on real life businesses
Yeah.
challenges, and you're using this experience in applying for jobs that guarantees you, the work at the end of the day.
And not just only the work, what the way UK is turning into now, there is a new rule that says that if you're currently in the UK as a care worker, you need to get a job first before they look overseas. For instance, if you're in a care system and you know that the visa does not carry dependents anymore, the best place to look at for now is tech. And with tech, you can get a job with visa sponsorship that will sponsor you and your dependents. You don't have to be on that visa alone, like the care visa that you have to be there and your dependents will think of an alternative. So with tech now, you need a job that will sponsor you and your dependents, and it pays very high. So with what you're doing, we're trying to get people to get experience. I think it's the best thing. Like I said, experience will always stand out when it comes to job interview. Experience will always stand out. Even if you've got only your O level and someone who has got a master's come for an interview, if the person who has got an O level comes for same interview and with experience, that person gets the job. So even if you've got 10 masters, it doesn't guarantee you the job, which is why I'm very happy. And that's why you're on this platform, because a lot of people have been saying, oh, Fajira, I applied for a job and they're saying that they need UK experience. So I'm glad that this is what your organization do, and it's definitely going to help a lot of people watching you out there. So guys, please like this video and also share with your friends and loved ones. How has Amdari evolved since its inception, and what milestones are you most proud of?
Yeah, so we've involved, we started last year, and we've been doing a lot of publicity, helping people, get started and all that. So in terms of, the key milestones is that we are focused on 7 major career paths that
Yeah.
guarantees you getting a job. Okay, so we are not just focusing on all the career paths we have in the tech space. So we're focused on 7 critical career paths that is sort of very easy for you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the word easy because people use that easy word, very, very flimsily. Okay. So data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, we have SOC, that's Security Operations Center Analyst. We have
Yeah.
GRC, and we have ethical hacking and penetration testing. These are the 7 career paths that we offer careers in. Initially, we didn't have cybersecurity broken down this, into different career paths. We just had cybersecurity as a major career path. So in terms of milestones, we're able to break this down and tailor it to each career path to make it easy for people to actually get jobs in these major career paths within cybersecurity. And I would say that to be honest, we have helped quite a number of people. Currently, we have about just 4 cohorts within the team
Wow.
already. Yeah, 4 cohorts. Yeah, the guys that started in November, that started in November last year. We have about 4 of them now that have gotten jobs in the UK. One data engineer, 2 data scientists, and 1 business analyst currently working in the UK that have gotten jobs. We have guys in the January cohort that are currently going through different rounds of interviews at the moment.
Wow.
And these are the things that they never felt they could actually do. We are in the market to help more Africans transition into the tech space. Like literally, you get a job at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're like the benefit of the platform is so that people can gain experience and use this experience in applying for jobs that guarantees them, a better life essentially. Okay, better pay, better flexibility of the job, and so on and so forth. So that's in terms of milestones. I would say that's like a major milestone for us. Also creating career paths, tailored career path to help people actually transition into the tech space. That's what I would say.
Thank you very much for that. So, can you please remind us of the services you provide and how you support your students during and after their internship? Because I
All
know
right.
that's what you guys do to make sure that students have got the right experience, the right skills to go into the workforce.
Yes, 100%. So you said something. I just want to piggyback on that.
Yeah.
So now the key question, yeah, before I answer this question is to
Yeah.
just buttress more on what we have to offer. Okay,
Yeah.
so majority of the people that are probably going to be watching this video are immigrants, and they came from whatever part of Africa, Nigeria,
Yeah.
Ghana, Kenya, whatever you're coming from. Okay, so
Yeah.
now if you want to sew, you have a party you're going to. Okay, and you want to sew an attire, you want to sew a native attire, you want to sew something, you want to sew a clothes, or you saw a design somewhere, you want to sew it, and you have 2 individuals. One
Yeah.
individual that probably went to designer school, okay,
Yes.
that just graduated from a designer school, and it's showing you that, oh, this is my certificate, and I just finished from this designer school, and if you give me your clothes, I'm going to do a great job. That's one person. The second
Yeah.
person you want to engage is a person that has probably don't have any certificate. You don't even know where the person learned, but the person is showing you different samples of clothes that they've done in the past. The answer is very simple. Who would you go
Yeah.
for? You'll go with the person that has a
With the
lot
one
of
that have got
clothes.
the real life
Exactly. Like
experience.
so
Yeah.
that's exactly what we get to offer here at Amdari. Okay. So this is why work experience is very important. Now,
Yeah.
so the services that we provide you with actual work experience. Now, what do we
Yes.
mean by actual work experience? So if you're going into data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, cybersecurity, SOC, and the rest of the career path I mentioned earlier, what we have done is to partner with different businesses across the world. All right. These businesses furnish us with their unique business challenges.
Business challenge.
Okay. So when they
Yeah.
give us these challenges, what do? We pass it across to you for you to work on. Now, we don't expect you to work on this by yourself. You are assigned a mentor that would also guide you through the solution to that project itself, or you working on the project itself. Now, you're working on that project to gain to improve your experience, number one, to improve your confidence, number two, and you're
Yeah.
not doing this alone. You're doing this with a coach, with a mentor that would definitely, provide, industry standards and so on and so forth. Now, that's the first part of the work experience program.
Yeah.
Now, while you're doing this, okay, we have the employability side that people overlook, every single time. Now, number one is CV review. We're going to help you revamp your CV. So this is
Yes.
not we're going to teach you, we're going to show you, we're going to do it for you. CV
Yeah.
review, and we're also going to revamp your CV. We're also going to help you with your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn optimization. So LinkedIn optimization is a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for LinkedIn optimization, it acts like Google search. If today you're looking to search for something online, Google will recommend the best places for you to go to, correct? Now that's
Yeah.
the same for LinkedIn optimization. So you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that if recruiters or employers are looking for a particular role, your profile would always be
Pop
popping
up.
up, would always pop up.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now the more eyeballs your profile your profile is able to attract, the more eyeballs your profile is able to attract, the more the possibility of you getting called. Do you understand? So that's linked
Yeah.
optimization. And the next part is the most critical part. So you have a good CV, you have a good LinkedIn profile. The next thing is how to navigate the job market. Where do you apply for jobs? You want to apply for jobs, you want to apply for a contract job, you want to apply for a sponsored job, you want to apply for a remote job. Where do you go to apply for this job? Now, the other part of navigating the job market is you want to go, you've learned data analytics. What kind of jobs
Mhm.
can you do? Do you apply for only data analyst roles? No. You can apply for product analyst, sales analyst, customer insight analyst. There's business intelligence. There's so many roles you could actually apply to. Same thing with data engineering, same thing with cybersecurity, same thing with business
Yeah.
analysis. So, what other job roles can you actually do by learning and gaining experience in this particular career path? Now, the next part is now very interesting. You have a good CV, you have a good LinkedIn profile, you know where and how, and to apply for all these jobs, and you get interviews. Okay, you start to get interviews.
Yeah.
Work will prepare you for this interview. So interview preparation is part of the deal. Okay, now with interview preparation, you have a stronger chance of you getting a job at the end of the day. So after interview prep, we also help with on the job support. So eventually, when you get a job, we help you with on the job support. Now, the most important thing that we do also is work reference. Now, work
Yeah.
reference, if you work in the UK, you know that work reference is something
Very
that you must
important.
have. Very important. All
Yeah.
right. So anybody that's outside the country, really, if you're in Canada, you're in the US, you're literally anywhere in the world, you need work experience, and that's exactly what we provide you with. Now, this is work experience to actually validate you working with us. Like I said, you're going to be working with different businesses challenges. You're going to be more than an intern. You're going to be a consultant working on different business challenges, and you're going to be preferring recommendation solutions to what issues they are going through. So at the end of the day, you're building your confidence, you're building your experience, you're getting employability skills in terms of CV, LinkedIn, interview
Yeah.
preparation, job support, work reference, and so much more. Okay, so those are the things that we get to offer in terms of you getting a job, going through the platform itself.
Thank you very much, Ife. With you talked about referencing is a very important aspect when it comes to recruitment. One of the things we really look at is reference, and we've got some references that when you read them about the candidate you want to employ, my God, you have another way of laying them off because they haven't worked well in that organization. So with Andari, getting your work experience with Andari, of course, there is no way you will get those negative reference. And
Never.
sometimes when we even end up employing those with negative reference, we put an eye on them, but they don't know. They never know what the person has written except they ask. But with Andari, you're very sure of a positive reference. I mean, that positive reference that will also make you stand out at your place of work is what you will get with Andari. So the next question I've got for you, Mr. Efe, is what are some success stories or testimonials from people who have benefited from Andare? I'm sure my audience will really be interested in this. For them to get started, they want to know what are the success stories to
Okay,
motivate
so
them. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I'm gonna, like I said, we have quite a number of people doing interviews at the moment. Last year, the people that
Yeah.
started in November last year, we have about four of them that have gotten full-time job. I'm just gonna be taking one because this is very unconventional. A lot of people in the UK are looking to get sponsored jobs, okay? And you see everybody asking the question, where do I apply for sponsored job? The only question you see every single time you have any form of session is, where
Is
do
that
I
so
get
social?
sponsored
Yeah.
job? Now, the key question, and I usually tell the guys within the team and also the people that go through the internship that
Yeah.
yes, you're going to be competing with 1,000,001 persons looking to get, even people that are not in the UK are
Yeah.
applying for the same jobs. Okay, so it's very competitive. Okay, now I lived in the UK. I lived about two years plus, about 3 years in the UK. I did about almost 3 years in Ireland. So I know in
You
terms of visa
understand it.
sponsorship,
Yeah.
I've been there. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I've never applied for a sponsored job. ever.
Wow.
Like go online and start looking for sponsor job. I've never done that one time, and that's the same thing I'm breeding within the people that are coming on board. Yes, we'll show you places where you can apply for sponsor jobs. But yeah, let me talk about the person that got a job in as a data engineer. This guy just completed his masters with his wife, and he came with his two children from Nigeria, and they didn't want to pay the what do you call it, the
Post
renewal
study
fee,
work. Post
post
study
study
work visa.
work.
Yeah.
Exactly, they didn't want to pay that, so he was looking for a job. So luckily for him, he joined before the end of his program. Okay, he joined about towards about 2 3 months before the program
Yeah.
master's program ended. So he was doing the internship with us. So while he was doing the internship, I told him to start applying for jobs. Okay, fortunately, I told him to apply for contract position, any type of role, really. Any job that you see online, we showed him where they could apply for jobs, and he was applying for jobs. So any type of job. So he was able to get a contract, a 6 month contract. Okay,
Yeah.
and as a data engineer working with one of the media companies in the UK. So 3 months into the contract, okay,
Yeah.
it was about to renew his visa. He went to meet his boss to tell him about the visa sponsorship, and all that. And the guy was doing very well on the job. Okay, based off his experience, he had
Yeah.
implemented new solutions. He had orchestrated and done so many work. Things that we spoke about that he should implement. He implemented. At the end of the day, when he went to meet the boss about the visa sponsorship and everything, guess who was sponsored? This guy was sponsored. Now the key thing
Wow.
was he didn't apply to the job, okay, like sponsor job, okay.
Yes.
That's exactly what has happened to me also with my own personal experience. And the other people that have applied for jobs already reside in the UK. They have their papers, they have everything, and they are working with one is working as a business analyst, like I mentioned earlier. We had two people that got
Wow.
job as data analysts, okay, and they are doing well. One of the guys is over, I would say in his 40, late 45 to 50 years old. All right. He
Wow.
had always been working as an accountant in Nigeria, moved to the UK, has always been doing accounting and accounting. He said he wanted to do something different. Okay. So, looking at learning data analytics and looking at getting into data analytics and all that, at the end of the day, this guy was able to get a job. Currently, he works with one of the top consulting companies, IT consulting companies in the UK. And, it was even looking at, okay, do you know what? Even if you could get like a 45K job, like he doesn't mind getting started,
Yeah.
let him start from there. So I was like, there's something about salary, especially in the UK. I have been burned, so I know exactly when it comes to
You
salary
can talk from
negotiation.
experience.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So you see, this guy was able to get his first tech role, and his first salary was about £60,000. First
Ooh.
job in the tech space, never done it before. First salary was about 60K. So you see, these are the kind of things that I usually would tell people follow Uno Road, follow the person that knows the way.
Exactly.
Things
Yeah.
have been there before. You don't need to go
It's
and spend
easier.
time. It's easier. It makes you easier.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years to get a job. And so on. There are so many life experiences I could share. I could go on and about. But long story short, we have people that are getting jobs. We have quite a number of people taking interviews at the moment, and these are
Wow.
huge success in such a very short period of time. We started in November last year, and like I said, and we have people that have gotten jobs. We have people in different interview processes, and so on and so forth. So, in terms of you leveraging us and getting a job, honestly speaking, that would be the best thing that you can actually do for yourself.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Ife. Like you said, a lot of the jobs advertised does not indicate visa sponsorship. I can also tell from experience, and like you said as well, experience will always be the best teacher. When you've passed through that route, when you want to advise someone, it's gonna be easier for the person you're advising, especially if they take the advice you're giving them. And most of these jobs that is not advertised with visa sponsorship, they actually do sponsor, just like this guy you talked about. So I'm sure my audience will be very interested in this, and I want to find out from you. Have you guys got any offer currently going on? Because I know people watching this video will be very, very interested. Lots are struggling with visa sponsorship, especially with their dependents. And with the skilled worker visa, you have to earn £38,700 to be eligible to apply for a skilled worker visa. But if you're in tech, salary is from 45K and above. The
Yes.
minimum you could get is from 45K and above, and that automatically qualifies you and your family to apply for a skilled worker visa. So please, have you got any offer currently going on now for my audience?
Yeah, so we have a very. You talked about women in tech. So what we are doing
Yeah,
at the moment is to see how we
yeah,
can bring more women into include more women in the tech space. So we're
yeah,
currently running the IWD discount, International Women's Day Month
yeah.
discount.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's a
Thank
whopping
you.
50% discount, 50% of what
Wow.
we usually offer is 50%. Okay, so we have the 6 months internship, we have the 3 months internship, depending on whichever one works for you. You can actually apply to either one of them. And also, we have a session coming up this weekend. So, for people that
Yeah.
want to know more, you want to ask more questions, you want to
Questions. Yeah.
interact more with us, we have a session that's happening this weekend. We'll likely put it in the description somewhere
Yeah.
where you can actually register to get started. So, you can talk to us and we can shed more light into what we do and how you can actually leverage us in getting your next tech role. 50% discount, yeah.
Thank you very much for that 50% discount. Guys, I'm going to leave the link to join the community in the description of this video and also in the pinned comments. Once you join the community, you'll be able to get in touch with any of the trainers to get more clarity, to know what exactly the next step you want to take. So thank you very much for that discount. So what is your long-term vision for Amdari, and where do you see the company in the next 5 years?
Yeah, fantastic. Very good question. So, in terms of vision, what we want to do in the next 5 years is we want to be that platform people come to get experience. Okay, so we
Yeah.
want to branch out to different career paths within the tech space and even beyond the tech space itself. So, we're looking at expanding the career courses, the courses that we have to expand across different roles, different careers within the tech space. Now, the other aspect for us is currently the partnership that we have with the businesses that we work with is it's a bit it's not dicey in any way, but they don't want to share certain information with the audience. That's the interns, the consultant that
Yeah.
they're working with. So we want to get to a place whereby we can actually place people in these organizations. Okay,
Yeah.
recruitment is like down the line for us to see how we can actually place people in these roles and you get paid while you're getting your internship experience. But that's like down the line because I mean the global economy at this time, if you're talking to anybody about bringing interns in, it's like
Mhm.
nobody's responsible for that. But long story, that's what we're looking at down the line, expanding our career path and also helping people actually get jobs. Okay, like literally come on the platform and you can actually get an internship or get a full-time job. That's what we're looking for going forward. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. This sounds really exciting if you ask me. Looking forward to the next 5 years. I'm sure
Yeah.
Andari will be bigger than what it is right now. I'm sure a lot of people will be able to testify. I got my job through Andari. That's what is my key interest, which is why I've got you here on this platform today. Because, like I said, a lot are still going through the challenges of trying to figure out what they want to do, trying to figure out where to get that internship and a good reference. So, are there any exciting partnerships, expansions, or innovations coming up in Andari? Just
Yeah. So in terms of expansion, initially we were registered in Canada, okay, but now we're
good.
registered in the UK. So we
Yeah.
have our operations running fully in the UK now. So for people that are
Wow.
looking for getting work experience, getting work reference from a UK-based business, you can actually do that now. All right. In terms of partnerships, our business literally thrives on partnerships. So every day we are partnerships with new businesses, startups in the UK, in the US, in Ireland, in Canada, in Kenya, in Nigeria,
Wow.
literally across the board. So we're always partnering with businesses to give us their unique business challenges that anybody that's coming on board would get to work on and get to use to build their own experience itself. So in terms of innovation, we're also constantly innovating. So if you come to the platform, one new thing that we have now for our interns is while we're bringing in people coming from diverse backgrounds, okay, one thing
Yeah.
we've noticed is knowledge gap. Okay, we've noticed the
Yeah.
knowledge gap. So if you learned on Udemy, the other person learned on the bootcamp, the other person learned on YouTube. What you guys all learned, but there's a gap in knowledge. So what we're trying to do
Yeah.
is bridge this gap. So
Bridge the
we have
gap.
developed
Yeah.
our own we have our own short courses on our platform. So if you become an intern, you can actually watch some videos in order for you to learn new skills, pick up on knowledge gaps and fill those knowledge gap that you have essentially. So in terms of innovation, we're always innovating in terms of bringing in new things to ensure that to increase the capacity of the interns that we're bringing in. That's exactly
Yeah.
what we're doing. So we're constantly in partnership with different businesses. We're expanding into
Wow.
new markets, and definitely in terms of innovation, we're doing that to increase our interns' intellectual capacity.
Wow. Like we always say that experience is the best teacher. This is my 14th year in the UK, and if you leave me to write, I will write a whole lot about the UK. Just
Yeah.
like you will have gone through the experience of finding a job, finding the best job, doing this and doing that within the last years of your life. Now, I've got another question for you. I'm sure my audience will be very interested in this question. And what is the biggest lesson you've learned as an entrepreneur? And what advice would you give to aspiring founders? Got people watching you now and want to be like you. What advice would you give to such people?
All right, in terms of for business, like running Amdari, running all the businesses I run at the moment, one thing I would say that is, tantamount across all this platform, every business is, as an entrepreneur, you need to know exactly what you're doing. Now, take
Yeah.
for example, I'm helping people transition into the tech space. I am a tech professional. I have done it. I've done it across different career paths. I know it. So
Yeah.
if you need to go into any business, you need to know it. So if you're
Yeah.
going into immigration, you're going into whatever business you want to do, you need to know it. Okay. So
Yes.
that's the first advice I would advise anybody. This is something I learned, way back. My mom would usually tell me that you want to start a business, go spend 2, 3 months learning from somebody that is doing the business to understand it.
Yes.
So that's what I would tell you. In terms of biggest lessons, also, I would say working with different people.
Yeah.
And one of the things I would say is everybody want to work remotely, but I will tell you, I understand organizations that are saying that they should bring back their staff to the office. Okay, so remote work, all our team, everybody within I'm based in Canada. We have a team based in the UK. We have
Okay.
a team based in Nigeria. We have people literally across Africa that we're working with.
Yeah.
We run a fully remote organization, and I'll tell you that it's very difficult to manage these people. All right. So in
Wow.
terms of biggest lessons, I would say learn the skill, have a good understanding of the industry that you want to go into, and I'm pretty sure there's success for you at the end of the tunnel.
And never give up, just to add to that, because sometimes
Yeah.
when you start a business, it can be difficult to build it up. And once you keep pushing, you know what you want to do, you have the experience, you know exactly what you want to go in. Even if you're not seeing that result from the very start, just keep pushing. You never can tell when it's going to blow up. So never give up, don't give up, become unstoppable. Just in case you're watching this video and you want to be like Ife, become unstoppable, because I know he is unstoppable. So I've got one more question for you before we come to the end of today's video. If you could go back to the early days of Andari, what would you do differently? Because I know you've learned from your mistakes as well.
So in terms of doing things, I don't think I would do anything different, to be honest with you. Um, so when we started, initially we started with or several career paths. I would say the only thing I would say is probably niche down to certain career paths that we're working with today. Okay, so
Yeah.
initially when we started with, we were literally across different career paths. So now what we have done is to tailor them into specific career path: data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, SOC, that's security operations center analyst, that's a move, GRC, governance, risk and compliance, and we have ethical
Yeah.
hacking and pen testing. So you see, those career paths are laser focused on things that you can actually learn, and you can use that in getting a job. So initially when we
Yeah.
started, we were literally across different career paths that were either there or there. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
that's something I would say I would have changed. So being laser focused on certain career paths that guarantees people a job at the end of the day, that would be the major thing.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming up here today. And like I said, the reason of having you here on this platform is for you to help my audience. A lot are struggling. Those are things I cannot do, which is why I try to get professionals to come over to see how they can prefer solution. Thank you so much. So, guys, just to let you know that Andari is offering scholarship, especially for women to transition into tech. So this is 120 women we get this 50% scholarship, and 20 men. I've got men watching this video. How come Amdari is giving only 20 men?
We have
Are you
taken
guys
some
being
people.
selfish to guys?
We've taken in some people already. So
Yeah,
this is just we extending it to your audience. I know we have
of
this
course.
discussion already, and yeah,
Yeah,
so we're just extending to your audience. We already have people that have registered for the course. We're
yeah,
just based off courtesy, but like looking at okay, Fajira has a fantastic audience of immigrants in the
yeah.
UK, and yeah, we're extending to your audience essentially. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ife, for even thinking of my audience. And I'm sure this will benefit a lot of them watching this video right now. So I'm going to leave the link to join the community. This offer is going to end on the 31st of March. The earlier you join the community to find out more, to know how to navigate, the better for you. So Amdari is giving 120 women who are looking to transition into tech, and also 20 men a 50% scholarship because they want to do this for my platform. So like I said, I'll leave all the links that you need to be able to join this community and also register for it. And this is going to end on the 31st of March. So feel free to click on the link in the description of this video, in the pinned comment, on my story on Instagram, and also on my profile on Instagram to make use of this opportunity. So thank you very much, Mr. Ife, for coming on this platform today. I really do appreciate, and I hope to get more testimonies from this. And guys, just to let you know that Mr. Ife is also still going to be here sometime this month. So if you've got any questions that we've not asked in this video, you can leave in the comment section, or you can also join our live in the future. I'm also going to announce the dates that we will be going live on this platform, so you can come prepared. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please do like and share with your friends and loved ones, and also do subscribe if you're yet to join our beautiful family. Take care of yourself and see you in my next video. Bye for now.
Bye for now.